Fare due chiacchiere. Fare due chiacchiere. Fare uno sputino. Lo spottino. La bevanda. La bibita. La bibita. La bibita. Il caffè. Il cornetto. There's two words for croissant. Il panino al formaggio. Il panino al formaggio. Il tavolino. Oh. Il tavolino.
Hello there. Today is September 28th and I am about to officially begin my Learn Italian in 30 Days challenge. Let's do this! Just to explain to you what I'm planning to do today, because it's going to be a little different compared to most other language learning techniques, I'm going to start this process by just skimming through all of the grammar sections in the ebook in order to just familiarize myself with the notes that I will need to learn in order to get to a decent level of Italian. Now, I gotta admit, this is going to make me progress a little bit more slowly at the beginning. I will be spreading my attention into a lot of different places. However, I think the biggest benefit of approaching grammar this way is that as soon as I get to native level content, it will be easy for me to extract what is it exactly that I don't get and I don't understand about Italian grammar. Because otherwise, those more advanced concepts will simply just fly over my head.
Okay, I'm just taking note that these are some of the grammatical concepts I'm gonna have to go through. I guess this is adjectives, the verb to be, different conjugations, some more probably irregular verbs, some sort of prepositions, past tense with the verb to have, I guess. Oh, and I just totally missed that they're like more points that are separated with whatever these songs are, I guess. And this is basically what my notes look like after the first day. The reason why I like doing this on my iPad is because I can drag and pull and rearrange stuff as I like. I have separated the points into 3 columns: nouns, adjectives, and verbs, and all of the stuff related to them. I have numbered the points corresponding to the lessons where I took them from. And the reason why I'm doing this is so that I can recognize the more complex grammar points when I encounter them in native level content. If you want to zoom in, I did my best to translate these grammar points from Italian, but there's still some points that I'm not sure what they mean exactly, so I left them as they are. All the rest are just me trying to match to the closest cognate that I know. As you can see, these are some irregular verbs that I just cannot figure out the meaning of, but the other ones we have are to give, to do. If we go back, this is the really scary part that I'm not looking forward to. This is all of the craziness that Italian has, and its subjunctive, or I guess conjunctive is what they call it in traditional grammar, but subjunctive is the more common Romance terminology. Yes, there's, from what I gather, at least 4 subjunctive tenses, which is more than any of the other Romance languages that I'm used to. So this is, I'm not looking forward to this, but I know I have to get to it at some point. I probably won't get to it in my first 50 hours, but when I continue with the series, after my first 50 hours, if I really want to become fluent in Italian, I have to not let the subjunctive scare me. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm gonna fully remember what I did here today, but at least I have become familiar with these concepts, so when I encounter them, they're not gonna be so scary. Oh, and I wanted to show you guys, this is Wiktionary. It's like Wikipedia but for languages, and you can basically look up any word in any language with all of its meanings, I guess. But what I'm here for to look up for essere is this, the conjugation table in all tenses.
I'm assuming this is like French, that this tense is not really used, the past historic, and that the near past is actually the perfect tense, just like in French. However, I might just be wrong, so we'll see. How did these came to be? I'm so baffled. I am not gonna lie, guys, this is looking kind of insane. What is even syntactic gemination after the verb, and why does it happen? Why is this even more irregular than other Romance languages? Like, just based on these two verbs, this seems like the hardest Romance language to learn. What is going on? It's day one, and so far I have already spent 45 minutes on an overview of the grammar, 30 minutes on the verbs to be and to have. So I have 25 minutes left to learn how to pronounce Italian. I will just read the article for Italian orthography, and whatever sticks, sticks. It's day 2 of my Learn Italian challenge, September 29th, and my plan for today is to focus primarily on making flashcards, going through the vocabulary in the textbook, adding them to my Anki deck, and just organizing my study for the days that are about to come. I will see how many words I'm able to add per hour, just to get an expectation of how quickly I can add about 500-600 words, my goal for these first 50 hours. And I'm going to be adding a lot more words than I intend to learn. The reason why I'm doing this is because some words are just going to be much easier and more relevant for me, so my brain can subconsciously pick out the words that will be important. This will be again more time spent in the beginning without obvious results. However, as I progress further into the challenge, I think this is something that can actually decrease my overall mental effort and strain. And these are the subdecks that I have made to divide up the vocabulary into similar semantic categories, so that when I'm reviewing these words, my brain can just group the words that are in the same subdeck. What do I remember from yesterday? To be is essere, to have is avere, and sono is to be in first person singular and third person plural, and o is to have in first person singular, and there is this gemination thing happening that I don't understand what it is yet, but I'm sure I will encounter it pretty soon. Oh, and also I'm using the premium version of Anki so I can review on my iPad and my iPhone while I'm traveling on the metro.
If you don't want to pay for this, there are many other flashcard apps that you can use as an alternative. I just decided to invest into this because of the time investment that I'm putting in otherwise. This is just gonna simplify things. So I'm concluding my second session today, and oh my god, this language is gonna kick my ass. So what did I learn and notice today? First, the verb to have. I think I have an overall idea how to conjugate it now. It's yo. Second take. It's yo o tuai lei a noi abamos voi avete. How was the plural? Loro on. Okay, I didn't master that verb yet, and I'm too tired to review it once again. It'll just come naturally once I encounter the different forms a few more times. For a moment, I got really afraid, o paura, that Italian has 3 genders. I got really scared that there's also a neuter gender in here, but it turns out there's uno for nouns, for masculine nouns that start with s or ts. So it's, let me think of a noun that I just looked at. I learned nothing. I also noticed that there are a bunch of idiomatic expressions that use avere that don't use the verb to have in English. It's all the same. They're always the same in the Romance languages. To be cold, to be hot, to be hungry, to be thirsty. Those are some of the things that I think are useful to know, so I'm gonna spend more time practicing them. Otherwise, the vocabulary for today was kind of not very useful. I mean, they're just names of different buildings, I guess numbers and days of the week and months are useful, and all of that is just already 100 words. So if you want to take a look how many cards I prepared already, it's 246 cards today. So I'm thinking 500 words is not gonna get me anywhere. I'll probably need to try to go for at least 1,000 words in these 30 days. How sleep deprived do I look? It's just 9 p.m. and it feels like Italian has already taken years of my life away. I will get there. You always put the most amount of effort with the least amount of visible results in the very beginning, and I know that as I progress, it's gonna start feeling much easier. I hope. So, I gotta come clean about something. Today is October 1st. It's day 4th of my Italian learning journey, and I missed day 3. Okay. I just set up a routine where I am spending my evenings dedicated to Italian, and yesterday my friends from my major were going out to a bar and doing karaoke, and I couldn't say no. So I am in debt 100 minutes of studying in depth. I am gonna try to distribute them across the first week. So we have today day 4, day 5, day 6, and day 7 to catch up on these 100 minutes, and I will see how I handle it. I already spent 20 minutes today on the metro reviewing the flashcards that I made on day 2. I mostly reviewed the useful expressions and the travel and transport subdeck, and for today I'm going to be reviewing more grammar. I'll be making more flashcards. I will try to do another 100 minutes today, but if I only do 80 more minutes, I will just catch up on Thursday and on Friday. Oof. Big oof. Anyway, it seems that this lesson is covering a lot of adjectives. These are good to know. And the lesson after that is, let me see, covering more verbs and more it's more city places. I don't know. I will try to make flashcards for both of these lessons, or I will make flashcards for one of these lessons and write down grammar notes about all this. I'll see. So initially I was gonna do some grammar exercises today, but fate decided otherwise for me. I don't know what's going on with my Apple Pencil. It just tells me Apple Pencil. It doesn't tell me that it has any battery life or anything. And when I go to Bluetooth, it's not even connected in there. I don't know what's happening. Anyway, let's go to the statistics for today. Let's see. Oh, this is just a specific deck. Geography and nature. Just go to the whole Italian deck and see the statistics. So they created 221 cards, and I studied, where is it? I'm a little confused with the statistics. 58? No. 172? No, that doesn't seem right. Is it right? I mean, counting all the reviews. Anyway, even I am a little confused how to use this data. I think this is counting duplicate reviews. And it also tells me how much time I spent on review. Almost 20 minutes, slightly below 20 minutes. Okay, it must be 172. I don't remember spending that much time on this many cards. Anyway, this is it for today for me. This was 100 minutes for today. So I'm gonna be doing the catching up today and tomorrow. Can you believe it's day 5 already? Well, I can't, because I missed today. And I have today, tomorrow, and Saturday to catch up on it. It's possible. Watch me do it. Watch me do it. So, for today, per oggi, I will start with a review of a lot of the vocabulary that I've made flashcards of and shoved into Anki. I think I'm gonna spend a lot of time on that this time. And then I will
go through another lesson, add the vocabulary into Anki, and then if my new Apple Pencil works, I will start reviewing grammar. But for now, and especially at this level, I feel like it's better to get ahead on the vocabulary, because as long as you know enough vocabulary, I think it's still very likely to get your point across, even if your grammar is completely incomprehensible. Makes sense? Again, I am adding a lot more words into my decks than I expect to be able to learn in this amount of time. I also think that a lot of the words that I learn in this amount of time will just be stuck in my short-term memory and won't really have been ingrained deep into my long-term memory structures. So that's why I'm gonna continue after this first 1 month, after my first 30 days. I cannot count. So let's get going. Hello, my dear audience. Today is October 3rd, day 6 of my challenge. And I gotta catch you up on what I did yesterday because I didn't feel like recording the wrap up. So I did 80 minutes of reviewing vocabulary on Anki in total, and is that right? Yes, that is right. And another 40 minutes making additional flashcards, so that was 120 hours in total. I covered 20 minutes of my existing debt. So I'm hoping today and tomorrow to finally repay all of my debt. 80 minutes that I'm probably gonna spread into 40 minutes additional today, additional 40 minutes tomorrow. So far today, I've already spent 15 minutes reviewing vocabulary while I'm traveling on public transport, getting to school and back. That's generally a good strategy if you have a lot of dead time commuting on public transport. To use it to learn your language or do work, or best what you can fit in that time. So that means I have another 90 minutes left for today, which I think, since I've already gotten into this making flashcards, I'm forgetting a word, I'm forgetting how to describe this. Since I've already gotten into this making flashcards habit for this week, I'm just gonna continue and then start getting into the grammar during my second week. Does that sound reasonable? I think overall vocabulary just requires more effort than grammar, so it's nice to front load it. And I was noticing today that there are some words that I've been struggling a little bit more with Anki. So for those, I just think I am either going to revise the flashcards to include a little bit more context, like add images of words that sound similar so I can associate the word with the image and then the image with how the word sounds. I know a lot of people just do this a lot for a significant amount of their flashcards. I just like to do this for only my most challenging ones. I will show you what I mean in a second. Just to show you what I did for some of the words that I find more difficult. Let's see. Summer, for example. I added a photo that reminds me of how the word is pronounced, because summer is estate, and it's just like estate, but for some reason it's difficult for me to come up with this association. So now when I'm reviewing the word summer, I will think of this image, think that this is an image of an estate, and so remember estate. Let's see another word. Think July. Let's go to July. That's not how you spell July. July. I added a picture of Luigi because Luglio is kind of like, it sounds like Luigi, and it trips me up that it starts with an L and has those other letters that are the L sound. Luglio. Luglio. Another example, let's see, window. Oh, this is gonna show up. Window. It's finestra, and I always get the vowels wrong, but it sounds like finesse. So I just added a ballerina that has a lot of finesse. So it's window is finestra. Fare uno sputino. Fare uno spotino. L'acqua minerale gassata naturale. L'acqua minerale gassata naturale. La bevanda. La bibita. La bibita. La bibita. Il biscotto. Il caffè. La cioccolata. La cioccolata. La cioccolata. Il cornetto. There are two words for croissant. And this is for the food vocabulary. So here is what I accomplished today. I did a little bit more than 50 minutes of review of flashcards, and I spent 90 minutes making new flashcards, which puts me at a total of 140 minutes. I have caught up on 60 minutes of my hours that I had in debt. Hello everyone, it's day 7, October 4th, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling kinda tired. Sono stanco. I already spent 40 minutes reviewing flashcards today, but I had to go to Bern, come back from Bern, organize stuff, and I don't feel like I will be able to catch up on all of the debt that I currently have in terms of time. I could, but I would probably have to continue studying after midnight, and I don't feel like that's necessarily as healthy, so I'm just gonna defer whatever debt is left to the next week. I'm sorry, guys. I feel like maybe I could get on top of 10 minutes of debt today, so I have 30 minutes left to catch up on next week. Or I could defer the whole 40 minutes to next week and have exactly 11 hours spent on Italian this week.
I'll see what happens. As long as I complete my objective for today and keep track of my debt, it's gonna be fine. And I've been working on catching up on it, so I'm not worried. I will continue adding vocabulary to my flashcards since, as I said, I've gotten into the rhythm of doing that. And then next week I will go more deeper. That's not good English. I will go more deeply into the grammar of Italian. I think I am approaching 1,000 words. Hooray! Which is about lower A2 range, maybe middle A2 range. So if I'm able to get to A2 in Italian in just 50 hours, that would be so phenomenal. Anyway, let's get to work. Enough rambling from me. At least 60 minutes getting spent on this right now. Okay, so this is my progress for today. I spent 42 minutes on review. Then I spent a little less than 60 minutes adding 132 flashcards, bringing my number of flashcards to a total of 950. Hooray! To use what I learned today to summarize my experience and feelings about today's session, mi sento stanco, mi sbaglio molto, allora mi addormento, mi addormento, sì. So yeah, this was my first week of learning Italian. I spent 11 hours in total up until now, and for this week, my main focus was building a foundation for my foundation of vocabulary. As I've explained earlier, because vocabulary takes so much time, effort, and spaced repetition, I prioritize vocabulary to give myself a longer time span for my brain to internalize these words, where I feel like grammar can be delayed because it just doesn't feel like it requires just as much effort and spaced repetition for it to sink in at a considerably decent level. This was all from me for this week. Letting me know what you think about this format of updating you. Leave me a comment letting me know if there's anything that I can do in these videos to make sure that you benefit and get some use out of this. Yeah, this was frightening in the beginning, but I think I'm starting to get used to this, and I am actually starting to feel pretty excited because I'm very happy with the progress I've made so far. I cannot wait to hear where you are on your language learning journey with the language that you're learning, and I will see you all next time, or as they say in Italian, arrivederci. Ci vediamo, I think. Yes, ci vediamo.